Welcome back. In this lecture, we will be discussing about one of the most important concepts in C# programming, which is passing a variable by reference or by value. We have seen how can we pass a variable or a value to the method that we've just created, but there is two types of passing variables to the method. First one is called passing by value. This means that you are using a copy, you are not using the variable itself. The value in this variable will never change, as we will see in the following example. But passing it by reference means that you are using the variable itself. So whatever you are doing which will change the variable, it will affect it in the calling method. And we will be talking also about the ref keyword and the out keyword. Let's go ahead and see this. Let's go ahead and open this project, methods part 3. I have some code in here for you, and let's revise it simply. Just a string variable called first employee and second employee, and assign some random names to this first and second employee, and just a console.writeLine to display this using string interpolation. This is just displayed as it is, just as a formatting, and I'm just displaying the first name and the second name and taking some new lines using the backslash and escape sequence. And then I have a method called change names, and I'm passing the first name and the first employee and the second employee to the function here, and the function inside of it changes the first and the second employee. So it was David Smith, Sophia Watson. Now they are Olivia, Aaron, and Alvaro Salazar. I think Alvaro Salazar is a powerful name. You can use it in the movies or so. And again, we are back to the main function and displaying again the first and the second employee to see the values. Let's go ahead and run this and see the difference. As you can see, here inside the main, we have David Smith, Sophia Watson. Now we went outside of the main to this function here, change names, so we have different names, Olivia Aaron, Alvaro Salazar, and when we were back again to the main, the value never changes. As you can see here, it's David Smith and Sophia Watson. Also, we have assigned the different names in another function or a method. So this concept here, the default of the C# is called passing by value, which means that you are using a copy of the passing by value, a copy of the variable name, not the variable itself. So again, let's run this before we go ahead and change it. In the main function, it's David Smith, Sophia Watson. Outside, it's Olivia and Alvaro. Inside, it's David and Sophia. So the values for the variables never change. Now, this is called passing by value, working in a copy. Now, how can I work on the variable itself, or using the other way, that passing by reference? Simply, I just come here and tell it ref, and in here I'll tell it ref, and as you can see, it's giving me error here because it needs to be also defined here, ref. Now C# or the compiler knows that this is passed by reference, so whatever happens in this method here will affect the variables here. Now let's run it, and here it is. Inside the main method, it's David Smith and Sophia Watson. Outside, it's Olivia Aaron, Alvaro Salazar, and again, inside the main method, the variables have been changed. Now there is no more David or Sophia, it's Olivia and Alvaro. So you see the difference between passing by reference, because we changed it outside of the main now. It's stuck with it. Let's change it forever. Reference keyword do this, and reference keyword needs to be initialized before I'm sending it. For example, if I come here and commented this line, and commented this line, and this one in here, now it will give me an error, you see? Because it needs to be set to some value. Also that I have it here. I declared it here that I have a string, first name, and second name, but still giving me an error. It needs to be initialized before it can be used. So if I come here, now you see, error is gone, here, error is gone. So what if I didn't want to initialize it? I didn't want to give it a value before I use it. I can just come here and use this keyword, and we have seen it before. The out keyword. Out keyword do the same job, but it doesn't need to be initialized. Now all are out. You're doing the same work. This is bus. Let's remove this. Now it's passing by reference as well, but it's not working. It's working without the initialization here. And if we run this, now it's working normally. Actually, I commented here the line that saying David Smith or Sophia Watson, because that's why they're not displaying in the message. Okay, one last thing before you go, and that's one of the powerful of the out keyword. Now I commented the declaration of the first name and the second. I can come here and type out string, and again I have string, and I define the variables inside of here. You see, very powerful keyword. Let's go ahead and run this, and looks like we are expecting. So this is the difference between the passing by value and passing by reference, and how to use the ref keyword and the out. Hope this was easy, and see you in the next lectures.